$1,992 Washington quarter dollar. What if I told you that a simple quarter sitting in someone's pocket, forgotten inside an old piggy bank, or mixed with everyday change could actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, but this is exactly why millions of coin collectors search through their spare change every single day. Most people see a quarter as just 25 cents, but experienced collectors know that one tiny detail can completely change a coin's value. Today, we're taking a close look at the fascinating $1,992 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people overlook but one that deserves far more attention than it usually gets. Before you spend another quarter, make sure you watch until the end, because the next coin you find could surprise you. The $1,992 Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark found on the front of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features the famous portrait of George Washington, while the reverse displays the classic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows surrounded by olive branches. This design had been a familiar sight in American pockets for decades before the state quarters program began in 1999, making the 1992 issue one of the final years of the traditional Washington quarter design. The United States Mint produced more than 450 million $1,992 Washington quarters, making it a very common coin in circulation. Because of this enormous mintage, most examples found in everyday pocket change are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, collectors know that rarity is not determined only by how many coins were made. Condition, striking quality, minting errors, and grading all play a huge role in determining a coin's market value. A typical circulated $1,992 quarter with scratches, worn surfaces, and faded details usually has no premium over face value. These coins spent years moving from one cash register to another, collecting damage along the way. But when a coin survives in exceptional condition, especially one that has never entered circulation, everything changes. Uncirculated examples with strong luster, sharp details, and very few marks are much more desirable among collectors. Coin grading is one of the biggest factors affecting value. Professional grading companies examine every tiny detail under magnification before assigning a numerical grade on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-60 is considered uncirculated, but one graded MS-65 or higher is significantly more attractive. The highest grade examples, such as MS-67 or MS-68, become extremely difficult to find because even small contact marks during production or transportation can lower a coin's grade. For the $1,992 Washington quarter, coins graded around MS-65 are relatively available and often sell for only a modest premium. However, as the grade climbs into MS-67 and above, prices can increase dramatically. Some certified examples in superb condition have sold for several $100s, while exceptionally preserved pieces with outstanding eye appeal have reached well over $1,000 at major auctions. This dramatic increase in value shows how important condition can be in the world of coin collecting. Another exciting reason collectors examine every $1,992 quarter is the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors occur when something unexpected happens during the manufacturing process, creating coins that differ from the normal design. These mistakes are often rare because quality control catches many of them before they leave the mint. One popular error is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin is not properly aligned before being struck by the dies. Depending on how far off-center the design appears while still showing the date, these coins can become highly collectible. Another fascinating error is the broad strike, where the coin is struck without the retaining color, causing it to spread wider than normal. Collectors also search for cleft plan case, where a portion of the coin is missing because of an error during the cutting process. Die cracks are another interesting feature. Over time, the steel dies used to strike coins developed small fractures. These cracks transfer onto the coins as raised lines. While minor die cracks are fairly common, larger or more dramatic examples can attract additional collector interest. Some quarters also display die chips, producing raised bumps in certain areas of the design. Collectors carefully inspect coins for double dies as well. A double die occurs during die production, causing portions of the lettering, date, or a design to appear doubled. Although no famous double die variety exists for the standard 1992D Washington quarter comparable to some legendary U.S. coins, any noticeable doubling still deserves careful examination because minor varieties can command premiums depending on collector demand. Another feature collectors appreciate is strong original mint luster. Freshly struck coins reflect light in a unique cartwheel pattern that moves across the surface when the coin is tilted. This natural brilliance fades quickly once a coin begins circulating. Preserving that original shine is one of the reasons why high-grade coins become increasingly valuable over time. Storage also plays an important role in preserving value. Coins exposed to moisture, fingerprints, chemicals, or improper cleaning often lose much of their collectible appeal. One of the biggest mistakes new collectors make is cleaning old coins. While it may seem like polishing makes a coin look better, cleaning usually leaves tiny scratches that significantly reduce its value. Professional collectors almost always prefer original, untouched surfaces. If you own a 1992D Washington quarter that appears unusually sharp or flawless, resist the temptation to clean it. Instead, handle it only by the edges and place it inside a protective holder. If the coin appears exceptional or has an unusual mint error, submitting it to a respected third-party grading service may be worth considering. Certification provides authentication, an official grade, and increased confidence for potential buyers. Many collectors build complete Washington quarter sets, which include every date and mint mark. Although the 1992D is not considered a key date, finding one in nearly perfect condition can still be surprisingly difficult. High-grade registry set collectors compete fiercely for the finest certified examples, helping push auction prices much higher than most people would expect for such a common date. The popularity of coin roll hunting has also increased interest in modern Washington quarters. Hobbyists purchase rolls of bankrupt quarters and search each coin for valuable varieties, mint errors, silver issues, or exceptional condition. Even though most searches end with ordinary coins, the excitement comes from never knowing when an extraordinary discovery might appear. One interesting fact about the 1992D quarter is that it belongs to the era just before one of the biggest changes in modern U.S. coinage. Only a few years later, the United States Mint introduced the famous 50-state quarters program, transforming quarter collecting across America. Because of that historical transition, many collectors enjoy preserving examples from the final years of the original eagle reverse design. Auction records demonstrate how dramatically condition affects value. While worn examples remain worth only face value, pristine certified coins with elite grades continue attracting strong bidding whenever they appear for sale. This difference reminds collectors that sometimes the rarest coin is not the oldest one, but the best preserved one. If you decide to search your own change, pay close attention to the mint mark, overall condition, strike quality, and any unusual characteristics. Examine the edges, lettering, date, and eagle carefully under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Even a tiny detail that most people ignore could make a significant difference in value. The 1992D Washington quarter dollar proves that collecting is about much more than age. It teaches us that quality, preservation, rarity, and attention to detail can transform an ordinary-looking coin into a prized collectible. Every coin carries a story from the moment it leaves the mint until it reaches someone's collection. Some span decades in circulation, while others remain untouched, waiting for the right collector to recognize their importance. So the next time you receive change from a store, don't spend every quarter without taking a closer look. Hidden among millions of ordinary coins could be a beautifully preserved 1992D Washington quarter that collectors have been searching for. That single coin might not just be worth 25 cents up, it could become one of the most exciting discoveries in your collection. And that's exactly why every coin deserves a second look before it disappears back into circulation. If you'd like, I can also write the next script for another coin in the exact same YouTube style for your hardest penny channel.